Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23, and today we're going to be tackling a time trial in probably one of the most beloved and revered circuits of all time. That is the circuit of the Tuscan Hills, Mugello. So, interesting fact for you to tell you is that we have a DrAce Academy Cup coming up very much in this circuit on Monday, and I haven't done a jot of practice, not even a lick of practice, so I thought I'd do a time trial here today, testing out a few different tyre combinations and seeing what lap time we could ultimately get here in Mugello. I love the circuit of Mugello, however, the past couple of years of constantly playing MotoGP, Ride 4, Ride 5 even, I've grown a little bit stale of Mugello. I find it's a track that is just heavily overused every time I go online, and I no longer care for this track as much as I once did. But I'm hoping here today, with today's time trial, with the Ace Academy race on Monday, that love, that passion, and feeling and desire for this wonderful Italian circuit should reinvigorate itself and feel once again a track that I can't wait to use. And to be honest with you, I'm already feeling that way because this is a track I am not particularly strong at. I've had some good races over the past couple of years. I've had some good races in career mode. Had some online races that have been really fun as well. The first live GP I did was at this track, and I didn't have a bad performance. That is now comparing it to where I am today, where I'm using Traction Control 1. Got a great bike underneath me in the form of the Mooney VR46 Ducati, the GP22. I have a good feeling for today's video, but the thing I'm not going to be concerned about too much is the fastest lap. If I can stay consistent and feel comfortable every lap, that's what I'm looking for here today. So the first lap we've done is a 1:45.468. I don't think that puts you up very high on the leaderboard, but it's the first lap. We're running the medium front, the medium rear, no changes to the gearing, no changes to the setup, the classic DrAce setup, just default. It's the same setup you can use if you just press triangle or Y on your controller to revert back to the original settings and default gameplay. So with that in mind, I'm going to be focusing on a couple of things, as I mentioned already, to feel comfortable on the bike. I already do. I already feel really good with the GP22. TCS1 is something I'm coming around to. I feel like I'm getting better and better. I don't tend to spin up the rear, and the rear tyre doesn't get too hot. So I think I'm not going to say I've nailed it, but we're getting closer to that point where I feel fully compos mentis with it, and I think, you know what, I've got this. I don't need to think about the traction control. I don't need to worry about the acceleration. We should be fine. A couple of things I also want to look at in today's video, as well as the topic of feeling comfortable, is the downshifting. It's something that we know I struggle with a lot. I do tend to downshift a bit excessively. We see it all the time in career mode. You guys are forever calling me out for it. It happens. I just have a bad habit and I need to work upon improving that. Once we nail that, I think then we'll get to a further plateau of improving and hopefully get closer to the likes of Quesadilla, Sacred Meerkat, VSEC BOA, maybe Flavio, and then eventually Jack Hammer. I'm coming for you, Jack. It'll happen eventually. Sure it will. So with that in mind, TCS1, improve the upshifting, improve the downshifting, but also the upshift as well, because we learned quite a lot from the session with Jackhammer recently in the Discord server about it's important to be in a higher gear than it is to be in a lower gear. And the main reason for that is that the pickup effect isn't as strong when you're in a higher gear. So it may feel a little bit, for me, it feels completely incorrect. I don't like riding the bike at low revs. If the bike doesn't sound like it's screaming, I'm in a low rev, or I'm in a higher gear, for example. So, with that in mind, I'm also trying to adapt to that. So, for example, into Arrabbiata 1, previous DrAce would have been in second gear here, and then into the right-hander here, probably upshifting to then go back down a shift. Trying to cut out those little steps that are actually extra work for no reason and no gain. And that's the point of today's video. I want to try and show you my process in improving in a track that I'm not particularly confident on. The prime part for me is to not start looking into setups, start looking into brake discs, start looking into different tyres. Just go out there with default. Straight up default. Go out there, have some fun, experience it for what it is, and then decide to yourself, you know what? Turn 6 didn't feel too good. I was a little bit deep for Corantaio, struggled into Bacchini. Why don't I look at different methods before we start changing things? So for me, this is my process on how to improve. This is my process to practice and prepare for a competition as fast and as fearless as the Ace Academy Cup. So without that was a long ass intro. Apologies, that was a long one. But I wanted to get the point across to today's video because it's going to be a long one where I'm going to do, I don't know, 20 laps, let's say. I'd feel comfortable doing 20 around Mugello to get a good feel for it. And I also want to experience what it's like when the tyres go really hot. As you can see already, the medium front is not a wise choice for consecutive laps here in Mugello. At the same time, those lap times aren't anything particularly good. We're still getting the feeling, getting the rhythm, getting the groove. In certain tracks, I can pick up the game and I can be fast. Certain tracks, I can pick up the game and really struggle. Mugello is one of those ones where I take my time with. I'm not that confident with Mugello. I think there's a lot of points on this circuit as well where you could invalidate. It's easy to mess up Scarperia. This corner here is probably the bane of my existence. I never feel confident or happy with my entrance and exit from turn 10 to turn 11. This sector just gives me trouble. Corantaio, I'm not particularly fond of this corner either. It's a great corner, fantastic for spectacles for the Ducati stand, but it's not great for me as the player. I just don't have much confidence around that sector. Biandetti 1, Biandetti 2, so easy to make a mistake there. Everyone's done it, I've done it, you've done it. I'll do it in this video, no doubt. It'll happen, it definitely will, it always does. But out of the final corner, just want to check as well actually for the final corner there. In real life, the riders do use the pit lane exit. Yes, the pit lane entrance, should I say. And when they do the pit lane entrance, they can run across the multicolour, the tricolore on the floor in the paint. So I want to try that, but I don't want to try it when I'm on a good lap. I'll try it for maybe when I've invalidated and we'll give it a try then. So we'll see then if it actually makes a difference, because that's a real racing line to go across that, and it does help in real life, as you can see. But so far for this one, into Materassi, we're just close enough to improving, but 145 one, or 141 would be esports level. Certainly not going to get that today. I'd be happy with a mid 144. I think that's what the guys were doing in the Discord server. And coincidentally, recently I've not been really competing with their practice times in the time trial, but this time I can see all their lap times. Sergio's done his, Quesadill's done his, I do believe. Gilzo's done his, Charles Berg, he's done his, Max B's done theirs. I think there's quite a few. Yeah, Max B did his a few days ago actually. Yeah, he's been sending me the screenshot, so yeah, he definitely has. And then there's been a few others as well. Meerkat and VSEC is an unknown. I don't know what lap times they've done, so all I can compare is to the guys who are currently behind me in the championship, so I've got to keep them honest, got to believe in them, because you never know, this could be a track where they can take away big points, because I'm still a little bit weak here in Mugello, but as it stands, I think we can do a lot better than where we are right now. I would probably predict a 144 flat. If we can get into the 143s, I'll be happy by the conclusion of today's video, but across the line now, I'm wondering if we jump over to a tyre yet. Across the line we have improved, well, we've not improved, but we've got back to where we set a lap time on lap 2. I think we can get another lap out the medium. Race situation with nice clear skies here in Italy, I don't think would be a good idea. Medium front might be good for a qualifying lap or 2, but for a full 10, 15 laps of Mugello, I don't think it'd be that many, maybe 10 or 12 laps. I don't think a medium front would work. But we've got to try these things now, so we're prepared for when we do jump online at Monday evening at 8 PM GMT. We know what tyres to use and how we're going to tackle that objective that day. Out to Savelli, we have gained 2.5 tenths. Something to focus on now is either do you look at the delta or do you just continue racing and ignore that flashing green box in the top right hand corner of your screen. It's easy to get distracted, and that's one of the reasons I don't have the ghost on. I almost left the ghost on again and had to go through the menu change once I started this video, but thankfully I remembered. because I really don't like the Ghost. It's just a huge distraction. It's a distraction as bad as the racing line. I hate those little weird things they put on the track. So as it stands, medium front is orange. I don't think our Clementine tyre will continue much longer. The Satsuma colour is making me nervous, so I don't know if we can get another lap out of it. Bit deep for Bacchine. And on to the power. 3.5 tenths of a second. 4 tenths of a second it is. I'm not trying the pit lane just yet. I want to wait until we get an invalid lap before I test that. So if you're wondering why I'm not taking that line yet, it's just that I'm not sure if it does actually invalidate the lap. I don't think I've ever done a time trial here. No, I haven't actually, because I was looking at the time trial before making this video, and I've never done a lap here in time trial in Mugello. So the last time I did a race here would have been in career mode, and then I think we did a live GP. And I think that's about it. So we'll have to see what we can do. Onto the left-hand side for Materassi. That's a little bit deep, that's another corner I'm not too fond of. I like it, but it doesn't suit me. I feel like I should brake harder, but sometimes I end up just braking gentle. And I thought I'd invalidate the lap there. That was very close to touching the inside of the curve there. That would have definitely been invalid if I was a fraction closer to the grass. But again, that's tight. Steady on. Really unsettle the GP22 there, braking at that little white line just on the left-hand side of the circuit. 4 tenths of a second. Yeah, this is not going to be improvement, and that front tyre is beginning to struggle. This will be the last lap with the medium, I think. I think that's why 7 laps with the medium front and rear is probably sufficient. Oh, I almost invalidated, and I almost invalidated again. But this lap's going to be no good, so this is definitely the last time we use the medium front, medium rear combo for now. If we don't improve, maybe I'll come back and I'll try it and I'll make the medium work, but for now, not great. Oh, a little bit wide. Oh, it didn't. It didn't invalidate. We should be good. I might try the next lap. Cross the line. That'll do me. So we move now across to the hard front, medium rear. Now the game is actually recommending we use the hard combinations of both hard front and hard rear. The double hard, the doubler. But I'm not sure. I don't like the hard rear tyre. Wow, we came out of that corner with so much more speed. 2 tenths of a second already into Luco. Wow, this feels magnificent. The medium front, the feeling was non-existent compared to this. This is astonishing. The rear tyre is fine, but the hard front, wow, that is night and day difference. I think probably because my fastest laps came when the tyre was red hot, or the medium at least, and now we have a nice, cool, optimised temperature hard front. This feels solid. Really, really positive. 2 tenths of a second, 1.5 at the least, we should be improving on this lap. The gaps, it temporarily went to 3 tenths, late on the brakes there. Very tight to the apex of Scar. Well, not tight as I would have wanted, because we're still deep for Pelagio. So then you force yourself to go on the curve there, and that loses your time. 3 tenths of a second it is. Oh, Lord Almighty, just downshifted just prematurely. That wasn't a downshift at first, though. That was just accidentally going down to second a little bit too early. But coming out of these corners, we've got so much more speed. Well, this is a great start. It's going to be a 1:44.4 with the hard front medium rear combo. Up by 4.5 tenths now. Do we use that outside? Let's go for it. Yeah, it looks like it does take it into consideration. Good. I like that, because that is the optimal line. That's going to help us get over there and get a nice bit of speed and momentum for the long straights of San Donato, from Bucine all the way to San Donato, of course. So once again, good feeling in the first corner. Of course, very important corner to get right there, because if you go wide there, you can lose a lot of time. And bear in mind, there's going to be a lot of other riders diving for that position that you've just lost. So we've got to pay attention that if we do go wide there, we've got to see who's on the inside, because that's a prime example for corners for people to make contact. So we've got to be careful on that. We've got to be on our best behaviour for San Donato. Downshifted a little bit prematurely there to second gear. As you can see, the bike got unstable. We don't want to ruin the stability of the GP22. Sending it out of whack and getting the rear wheel spinning is not going to get you a good lap time here in Mugello. I don't think it'd work anywhere else, to be quite honest with you. Looks fantastic on camera, but it's not going to work for performance. Done it again there for Scarperia. Need to tidy that up for a better lap time. Still improving nonetheless. This is a good combination. I would definitely like to try some more. I've got my eye on the hard front, hard rear, without sounding too much like Guy Martin when he was in Circuit of the Americas. I was going to get my eye in, really. Just going to look at the bikes. Not seen that video in a while, but I definitely need to refresh my mind. I love that. We were all doing impressions of it the other day. I absolutely love that video. Guy Martin's just a legend, isn't he? Anyway, sidetracked for a second there. Apologies. Let's get back onto the power. Little bit wide and across the curve there. That lost us a good 10th and a half, which actually ruined our chance of getting into the 143s for the first time in today's video. But I don't doubt that we can't improve. Bit deep there for San Donato. I just made reference to that in the first corner on the previous lap. Bear in mind, if we did that there's going to be rides on the inside. So, got to learn then to take that corner a different way when we go into the race on Monday. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the 10th lap already. And if you're still watching, that means you're enjoying the video. So please, if you don't mind, hit that subscribe button and also hit the like button as well. It does push the YouTube algorithm. It gives someone like me a chance to reach out and to really get my exposure out there to more and more people. So if you don't mind, I would be very grateful. But of course, you don't have to. It's a free country. Of course, you do as you please. But as it remains, it would be very helpful. And we're just about to go a little bit quicker. We were until I went deep there. Much better on the downshifts. Look how much later we left it. It felt cleaner, felt tidier. Don't know if it actually benefited the speed, but it felt better. And something I've been trying to stress with a couple of riders in our race academy recently is that being fast doesn't just mean being fast. Being consistent and controlled and comfortable is more important, and I've just made an invalidation there. Here's me preaching about being in control and I make that mistake. Blunder coming in here on the 10th lap of today's DrAce's video. But yeah, getting back to my point, it's more important to feel comfortable. Smooth is fast, and fast is smooth, ladies and gentlemen. Bear that in mind and you will go far. Being erratic might get you a good lap, but you won't stay on the bike to even show your true potential. So just bear that in mind. It's not about winning races in the first corner. It's not about winning races by setting the fastest lap in time trial. It's about staying consistent. In the Ace Academy Cup so far, I've been able to take 3 podiums just by staying tidy. I mean, I got took out twice, but I stayed clean and tidy for the rest of the races. Sometimes that's just all you got to do. Might not win the race, but you can get a good position. That's my style. Keep the content interesting, keep it fun, and keep it flowing. That's really tight. Oh, and tight again. Oh, I got lucky there. Thank goodness that curb just sort of carries you round there. Any other curb in the game and you just lose all momentum and come to an absolute standstill. Look at the fans waving their flags in the corner. They're very much enjoying this time trial here today. Hope you guys are as well. That's too wide into Scarperia. Oh, I downshifted. Oh, I actually didn't do that on purpose. I actually thought I'd upshifted to 4th gear, which I usually have been doing so far in this video. That's deep, that's deep, that's deep. Ah! I downshifted and the rear tyre came round. A second invalidation in a row. Slap my hands, slap my metaphorical wrists for that. That's terrible. And I just invalidated again. Lord almighty. But yeah, getting back to Scarperia, I usually upshift over the crest and the rise of Arrabbiata 2 to 4th gear. In that instance, I just didn't do it. So when I went to downshift to 2nd, which I assumed it would be, it was actually 1st gear. So that's why that mistake occurred. But to be honest, even with that mistake, even with the invalidation, granted I did cut a little bit of Biondetti too, so we got to take that into consideration. But the lap time is still a 1:44.1, 1:44.2. That's good consistency. That's what I was looking for when I started this video. And it seems once we got into the 144s, apart from the minor faux pas to go back in to the 145s, we've stayed relatively consistent. And this is what my style is. And this is what I want. I've done it again. I've made another invalidation. I'd be on my 3rd or 4th track limit warning there. Oh, I went wide. Okay, my mistake. This is going heck to handbasket. So I just dive back into the pits, and you know what? Since I made those 2 invalidations, well, 3 invalidations in a row technically, I am going to entertain the idea of using the hard rear. Now, as I've mentioned in this video, and I've mentioned it countless times before, I avoid the hard rear like the plague. It's not a tyre that works for me, or at least it didn't when I last used it, because simply, I don't think I'm aggressive enough with the acceleration to even warrant using a harder tyre. But if the feeling's good and the grip is nice, why not try the hard rear? Why not let it fly, use the hard rear, give it a bash, and see how it goes? May not use it for the race, but you've got to try it for certain things like this. And you know what? Not bad so far. It doesn't feel particularly any different to the actually, I think it feels better. I actually think this feels better than the medium rear. I think it feels better now that I'm on traction control 1. When I was on a higher traction control, I just did not like the hard rear at all. I think I've gone deep again. That's close. That is really close to abusing the track limits. I mean, he just touched that white line and it's invalidated. We've seen it earlier on, of course. It does. It feels really good. That it actually feels like the turning's better as well. I don't know whether that's a combination of both the reduced traction control to its lowest form and the hard rear, or if it's simply a case of just the hard rear has always been this good. It's just that I didn't really give it a chance. We are going to cross the line in our first attempt with the double hard combination to get a 43.9 for the first time in today's video. I'm happy with that, I really am. That's good stuff, that's good progress, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy, I'm content, I really am. I'm going to have to give it a few more laps yet. Give it a good chunk of time with the hard front, hard rear. And I think I might need to look at some of my old time trials and get that hard rear on. Give it a chance. We are fortunate that it's a very warm day here in Mugello. So that is going hand to hand. And you know what? Look at that. 0.4 of a second now on this split. Is this going to be even better? I would like to think we can get maybe a 143.5. That would be a nice margin, but that's a good lap. 0.3 of a second improving, up to 4th gear, not making that the same mistake twice. Downshifting gently into Scarpa rear. Not bad. I tried upshifting to 3rd a bit earlier there, and I think that worked out. Upshifting earlier does seem to really help. It's what quite a few of you guys have been preaching at me for a while. We're up by 0.7 of a second, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, 0.6, maybe not get too excited here, but this is a good lap coming in right now. Doesn't look any particular better than the other ones. It just feels really, really confident. It just feels good, and I'm so confident with what we've got right now. Up to 3rd gear for the left-hander. Oh, wow, look at this. The grip, the speed, the confidence brewing. This is going to be good. This is going to be a cracker across the line. So 143.334. Oh, I'm happy with that. That's good stuff. If it's shining bright like this on Monday at 8 PM GMT, you better believe I'll be using the hard front, hard rear. That is the combination to be on. That feels marvellous. I don't think I should need to use the soft front, or I think the medium rear is the softest, but for the soft front that is an option here in Mugello. I think we give it a try, but ultimately I think this is the best tyre to use. 243 straight off the bat. I am pleased. I don't know where that puts me on the leaderboard, but I know it puts me quite high up on my friends list. Of course, God bless you guys who all added me as a friend recently on Steam. I've got quite a lot now. So comparing it to all of you guys who have added me, I think that's a decent number. I think I might be, what, 3rd, 4th? I know Meerkat hasn't set a time. I know Jackham hasn't set a time on PC. But I know VSEC has got a good lap here, but I just don't remember what it was. I think it was a 42 high, a 42.8, 42.7, 42.9. I'm not sure. So to be... Oh, I've invalidated there. Not a problem. We're getting all of those invalidations out of the way with now. But to be... Oh, no, I thought that was going to happen. Just got a little bit too cocky then, but it doesn't matter. We'll still continue because we can just finish the lap regardless. But no, in my luck, this will be a 42, won't it? That's usually how it goes down in circumstances, situations like this. You set a lap, you invalidate it right on the cusp of the next lap, and then the next one gets invalidated, and it could have been the best lap ever, but unfortunately it's gone in the bin, metaphorically, let's say. So what I would like to know though is, even with the invalidation, do we push that hard front to its maximum after what, 3 or 4 laps? I really don't think we do. It feels tremendous. It looks tremendous as well. I am really happy with this combination. I hope you guys have been enjoying my foresight into improving at a certain track. I must do more videos like this, you know. Longer time trials to show you my full process of understanding if I'm good at this track or if I'm not. I still don't think I'm great at this circuit, but I feel significantly better. And I am very much enjoying this time trial here today. And that is part of the battle. As long as we enjoy the track, good times will come eventually. It's just a matter of time. And it's a matter of when, not if, let's say. But good stuff so far. Let's not invalidate. And I think once we finish this lap, because I am pretty much sold on the idea of using this tyre, I just want to try the soft. I just want to know what it's like, because bear in mind, in the qualifying on Monday for the race, I can't be using the hard front, because if I want to use the hard front for the sprint and then the race, I'm going to be out of tyres. So across the line, 43.9, let's move on to the soft front. So here it is then, guys. It's time for the soft front and hard rear combination. Now, as I mentioned, I'm not going to have the capacity to use hard front in every session. So I might be able to get away with a hard front in both the qualifying and the sprint, but I definitely need to save a hard front for the race. And you know what? The soft front, although the longevity will not be as long as the hard, already feels better than the hard. And the medium, which is a tyre I often use, by far felt the worst. I have been inadvertently hindering myself by using that medium, it seems. I have a lot of learning to do. I might be almost 200 hours into MotoGP 23, 200 plus videos made in this game, as I almost lost a front end actually. I'm still learning, and we're still improving every day, still using the default setup, still using the default gears. I think we're going to be even better at this game. And you know what really helps me though? The 120% difficulty AI in this game. They are fantastic. They're way overpowered. They're too aggressive. Of course they are. But I have learned and improved so much from racing against them. And then, of course, the magnificent aces. The DrAce Academy... Wow, that's an unfair invalidation, but it is what it is. The DrAce Academy Cup. All the riders there push me to the maximum. This is good stuff. Oh, steady, steady. Got a little bit out of shape there with the soft front. And you know what? This could have been... Could it? It's going to be close. It could have been an improvement. Oh, not quite. We're going to lose 0.5 of a second. So soft front, hard front gives the same lap times. I'm pretty much sorted now if this is the case. The soft front feels magnificent, as you expect it would. Feels really good. I am gushing over the circuit right now. I can't... No! Oh, I got distracted. Gush no more, ladies and gentlemen. I made a blunder. My first crash in 17 laps. That's not that bad. I'll take it. I don't crash often, but when I do, it's usually something stupid like that. Just distracted there for a second. I wanted to see what lap time we could get. And yeah, just pushed a little bit too far into Luco corner. Getting across the curb certainly slowed us down. At that lean angle as well. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. It definitely wasn't going to be, was it? So, my apologies. The streak has ended. Like The Undertaker at WrestleMania. it can be beaten. It can be flawed, and it certainly is in today's video. But we are still only down by a tenth of a second. This could still yield a brand new lap time for me. Let's hope we can continue this way. I'm going to keep on pushing no matter what I do. And then on the left-hand side, 1/10 of a second it is. Under 2/10. I think I lost a bit of time there. We certainly did. Certainly giving it everything. Oh, a quick upshift to third gear usually helps me, and I actually don't think I was right to do it that time. Still learning on when to do that and when not. Oh, that's tight. Oh, I thought that would be invalidated, but it got invalidated again on the green. Ah, no. Where's these little quirks and habits coming from? I can accept a couple of invalidations, but not the fourth in a row. Come on, Matt, you're better than that. Ran me accidentally, inadvertently. But across the line, it still will be a 43, so my new race pace is a 1:43. And if I cast my mind back to the live GP, I think I was doing 1:45s. But that was with the LCR Castrol Honda. That was when I first raced online, and that was also using TCS3. We've come a long way, ladies and gentlemen. We really have. I'm not giving up on this yet. Oh, I almost invalidated again. Got to use those track limits, though. You've got to use all of it to really get your good lap. Something that I think as well that MotoGP 23 has helped me improve with so much is being patient with the throttle. I remember doing a session with Fuchs in Donington Park to try and get the world record. We was both doing it at the same time. I was using Scott Redding's Ducati Panigale V4R. We were both racing it together. He was sharing his screen, I was sharing mine. We were taking it in turns. And I remember him saying to me countless times, "You're too eager on the throttle." Not aggressively, but you're bringing it on too early. And I still do this. I still have a habit of this. But with the pickup effect in MotoGP 23, it really shows you when you're doing it. And it really demonstrates when you're doing it too early. And I think this game has just taught me that so much, on how to be patient with the throttle and not to abuse it, and I've just abused track limits again. You know what? I've figured out what the issue is. The soft front does not turn as nice as the hard. It's actually difficult to turn in with some of those corners, and I would probably assume that's due to the temperature. When the temperature of the hard front is optimum, it feels fantastic. It's less than optimal now. The soft is feeling not great. It's not bad on the hard braking zones though. It's more so the lack of feel in the change of direction. And I feel like I'm using more tyre to close the gap mid-corner by using a bit of brake than I ever did with the hard. I have a feeling I might end up invalidating this lap as well. I'm just struggling to turn in Biondetti 1 and 2. It's quite impressive how much feeling you can get from a controller. And I think this is why I'm so adamant that I don't like... Oh, I've invalidated again, I called it. This is why I'm so adamant with Ride 5's feeling that I just don't like. Because there's a lack of feeling and sensation in the controller. But this is lap 19. I better not invalidate for lap 20, because I will not end this video on an invalidation. I can take pride to know that those invalidations were nothing egregious. It's not like I just basically cut the entirety of the Biondetti hairpin. But I also don't feel like I gained enough of advantage to skew my time trial results, if that makes sense. It is, it's really difficult to move. It's definitely the temperature. But can we make it stick for 2 more laps? I should probably go back to the hard front and hard rear, but I really want to know how much we can push this soft front before it says goodnight. I think we're already there, to be honest. If we don't crash on this lap, I'll be amazed. Again, another good lap time though. Yep, invalidation, it happened. But again, I don't think any of those invalidations really made me that much time. I did make that small error to Savelli in the last one, which does kind of cut a bit of the apex, but you get the same speed by going on the curb anyway, so I'm not sure I can really say this has skewed my times. Good braking into Maserati. I felt quite nice there, actually. And it's depicting a decent performance in the Delta. 0.2 of a second as it is right now. Tight to the apex. Back across to the left-hand side. Whoa, once again, very tight. 0.3, 2.5 tenths, down to 2.5 again. It's close. Will it be a good sector here? On the power. And then onto the brakes. Nice and tight. This could be a good one. I'm really getting used to TCS1, guys. I think I'm going to have to do a video on talking about the differences. Very similar to what we did with TCS2. If you want to see a video like that, let me know. And I'll be sure to show you my controller overlay again, and we can go through the setup together, or at least the controller configuration rather than setup. I don't want to misconstrue the word setup, because clearly I don't use setup, so I can't give you anything. I can't do a setup. Not bad, actually. Good entrance into Bacine, but I think when we get on the power, we will lose that time we just temporarily gained. And we are. But it will be a valid lap time for lap 20. I am happy for that. We can end on a high, and we can take a look at the results. So there we are then, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of 143s there. A lot of them were invalidated, unfortunately, but my best lap times right there at the top from, coincidentally, lap 13 and the final lap we just done with the soft. But I can guarantee I can do the combination of the laps with the combination of the hards better than the soft. However, the soft is what we'll be using for the qualifying Monday night, say it with me, at 8 PM GMT. Guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I certainly hope you enjoyed. I've had a blast. I've had a really good time doing this one, and I can't wait for the race on Monday. If you want me to do more of these time trials where we look at this in a bit more depth and I talk about the tyre choices, let me know in the comment section down below. And finally, hit subscribe so I know you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Ciao for now. Oh, hi. Didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.